Okay, I want to quickly walk you through creating your first survey. So here we are. We're going to give the survey a name. This is a name that no one else is going to see. And so you can give it whatever name that you want, but just something that's going to help you remember. So I'll just call this one walkthrough survey video. And I'll click to go to the next questions. You have the option to watch this video that you're probably watching right now. So I'll click create a survey. You also have the option to never see that video again. So I'll just click to create a new survey. Now we pre-populate your survey, and you're welcome to click the delete buttons to delete all of the questions and answers and start completely from scratch. But let's go in and just edit some of these. Now, just for sake of example, let's pretend that I've got a training course that is targeted for men over 40 for how to lose stubborn belly fat. So what is your single biggest question about uh, losing stubborn belly fat now that you're over 40? Okay. And we have the option to make this required or not required. We also have the option to drag or upload a question right here to this drop zone, which can really jazz up your survey and make it look very attractive. So definitely check that out. Also want to point out adding the branch logic. We'll get into this a little bit later, but for now, we're going to ignore it. I just want to point out where it is. But what it does is it controls, it allows you to say, okay, if they answer it like this, if they answer A, then send them to the next question. But if they answer B, take them to the end of the survey. So it gives you the ability to control how the survey branches. In other words, where they flow through the survey based on their questions. But just to keep this real quick, I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now. And we're going to cover this in greater detail in other videos. So up here, this name field is just a name to help you remember this question later. So I might call this, by the way, SMIQ stands for single most important question, but let's change it. Let's call it important question. Let's call it actually most important question. All right. Over here on the left, you can click this link where it says click here to save changes, and you can force the software to go ahead and save everything that you've done. If you don't click that, it will routinely save your changes as you go through, but if you want to go ahead and force it to update, you can click that link. Okay, so now that you have a feel for how this works, let's scroll down a little bit. Has it been difficult to find an answer to, has it been difficult to solve your stubborn belly fat problem? All right. And I can make this required. I also have the ability, if I want to, instead of just yes, no, because this is a single choice option, what I can do is I can say yes, no, or let's give them the opportunity to choose other. So I'm just going to make it a yes, no. And we also notice that even for the answers, you have the ability to either click and add an image, or you can just drag an image from your folders and directories over into this drop zone, and it will be added for the actual answers. So let's go down here. The opt-in form is where you would ask for their name and email, or their name, email, and phone. You don't have to use one. You could just click delete, or you can move it to the end, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So this last question is this text area. I'm actually going to, let's go ahead and move this up, because I just want to demonstrate that just as simple as that, you can grab onto this area where you have the sort of the north, south, east, west move symbol, and you can drag the questions and answers to the correct position in the survey wherever you want it. But I don't even want to ask this one, so let's delete it. Let's add in another single choice option. So over on the left, notice I have single choice, multiple choice, long text, and opt-in. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll click on single choice, and new questions get added to the bottom, but again, I can click and drag these up here to the top or anywhere that I want. So now the last step is our opt-in form, and we're going to make this required, the opt-in form part. Okay, we're also going to make this one required as well. So this is where I'm going to ask someone, I'm going to ask them, so do you go to the gym at least 2 times per week? All right, and I'll make this required, and I'll say one option is yes, and another option is no, and I'll give it a name. something like that. Because I'm the only one who's going to see it. It doesn't need to be spelled. I can use abbreviations. Okay, and all the changes have been saved. So up here at the top, we have a couple more tabs. We have Customize, we have Rules, and we have Deploy. Now, to keep this as short as possible, I want to point out that even just right here, we could be finished. We could just go right to the Deploy section, and we could grab this link right here in step 1. So we will host this on our website, and you can use it and send link directly to this from an email or from a button or link on a web page that you have, and you can send people right to a page that looks like this. And so we could go ahead and fill this out. Example text here. Go to the next question. Has it been difficult? Yes. Do you go to the gym at least twice per week, etc., etc.? You get the idea. So I'll go ahead and enter in my name and email address, and we provide you with a generic thank you page. Now, let's say that you want to make it a little fancier and you want to send someone to a specific thank you page. That would be done under the rules section, and rather than covering it right now, I want to keep this video as short as possible. I just want to point out rules is the section where you can say, based on how they answer a question or based on a score that is given, because you can run a survey as a quiz and have a score based on either how they answer a particular question or their overall score that's calculated. Send them to this thank you page or send them to that thank you page. It gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to send them to different thank you pages where you've got different messages, possibly different videos, certainly different text. And so that's a very powerful way for you to do that. You also have the ability in the rules section to integrate with your email service provider. There's a lot that can be done over there, and so I want to just point out what that tab is for, and then we can go into much greater detail in another video. The customize section is where you can customize things like if you want to show or hide a welcome screen and change the text of that welcome screen. You also have the ability to change the text for that opt-in form field. You can choose to ask for their phone number or not. And we can also, under general settings, you can choose to show or hide a progress bar, show or hide the question numbers, question 1 of 4, etc. And then you can do things like put a tracking code or sometimes a retargeting pixel, whatever you want when someone loads up that survey. You also have the ability, if you're more advanced or if you have a web designer on your team, you can add in custom CSS that will change the look and feel and the colors and the fonts of your survey. So lots of different things that you can do in the customize section. But we just quickly covered the question section, and then I showed you the deploy section, and that we host a survey. We can host a survey on our website. You can just link directly to it. Another option is for you to put the survey directly in the content of your page, and that's what you would use in option number 2. Just copy and paste that code over into the section of your page where you want that to show up. And a third option would be if you want to have a link or a button on your website that triggers a light box that shows the survey inside that light box. That's option number 3. So again, the goal here was not to show you everything that you can do with the survey. I just wanted to show you, give you a quick walkthrough, a look around, and to show you what the various tabs were for, and to show you that it's very quick and easy to add the questions, add the answers, reorganize them and move them around, and to how to show the survey on your website. So we've covered that, and in additional videos we're going to show you all the different things you can do in the customize and in the rules section. It's very, very powerful, and I look forward to showing that to you.